to the Catholic Weekly News. I'm Runa Agarwal and here is the news from the week that went by. Goa Chief Minister and former Defence Minister of India Manohar Parrikar died at his home in Donapaula last Sunday after battling cancer for over a year. He was 63. On Monday morning, his body was kept at the BJP head office in the state capital, after which from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. people paid their last respects to him at Kala Academy. His last rites were performed at Miramar with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Minister for Textiles Smriti Irani, Union Minister of State Ramdas Athawale and other dignitaries in attendance and paying him floral tributes. Archbishop Philippe Neri Ferrand also paid his respects.
सगळ्यांक विनंती करता की कोणी घाई करचे न्ही. सगळ्यांक मनोहर भाईंचे दर्शन मेळटले. सगळ्यांक विनंती करता की कोणी गर्दी करचे न्ही, घाई करचे न्ही आणि सगळे जाण शिस्त पाळुया. शिस्तीन सगळ्यांक दर्शन मेळटले. सगळ्यांक विनंती करता की कोणी घाई करचे न्ही.
Kapil.
Pramod Sawant, the 45-year-old former Speaker of the Goa Legislative Assembly and BJP MLA from Sankeli in North Goa, was sworn in as the 11th Chief Minister of Goa in the early hours of Tuesday, 19th March, succeeding Manohar Parrikar. He was administered the oath of office and secrecy by Governor Mridula Sinha at Raj Bhavan. The natural phenomenon called the equinox takes place on a planet twice every year. This is because the planet rotates and revolves in a manner when twice a year the length of the day and of the night is the same. These two equinoxes usually mark the change of seasons. They happen on approximately the 21st of March and of September each year. Jesuit priests who are known to be very knowledgeable about astronomy took advantage of this and used it in the construction of the Holy Spirit Church in Margaon. There are 3 windows on the front facade which throw sunlight on 3 important areas of the altar. Adriel Alvarez brings you this report.
This Holy Spirit Church, which is the second church which was built in Salcete, was built by the Jesuits and it was built in 1564. This present structure is probably the fifth or sixth structure. The first built in 1654 was little ahead where the present cross is, and that collapsed within a year or two because of rains. The other structures, the second and third floor, were destroyed when the armies of the Bijapur king, the Marathas, attacked the Portuguese, attacked Margao. So those were destroyed by them. This structure is probably the sixth, and it was built somewhere in the 1670s. Since the Jesuits were very good astronomers, they must have built this church in a way where the equinox, the setting sun, on the equinox day, both in the spring as well as the autumn, the rays of the sun passes through the circular window which is on top on the facade of the building and lights up the altar, the center altar. The setting sun lights up the altar, and there are three windows just below the circular window. The two side windows light up the side altars, while the center one, the rays of the sun are blocked by the pipe organ which is on top. On equinox, the 21st of March and 21st of September, you can watch this amazing phenomena where the sun is in a straight line. The sun, the circular window, and the altar. And the setting sun lights up the main altar and the side altars.
See, from the time I came here for the last 7-8 years, every year it fails that people who are in the know-how of this phenomenon, they've been approaching the church for allowing the church to be open to the public. And in this matter, one was very much concerned and supporting us was Mr. Lean Viran. They brought up this issue when we were bringing out or we were organizing celebrations of our third or fourth centenary of our church, of our parish. At that time, this issue of the equinox was brought out also by our Mr. Ferrero, who has brought out a book on the residences here around the Margao church. So at that time we understood what was the importance of this event, and we took interest. And for this matter, there are others who supported us and asked us how we could organize this more publicity. And I'm surprised that this event has got up so much with the public. The interest of the public has been increased so much that this year, I think, was extraordinary amount of people who have come here. I do think that it should be around 700-800 people, because the church was full and we had to put more chairs for them. And this morning somebody asked me, Father, how do these people know about equinox? I said, the astronomers, the scientists, those who study the stars, the movements of the sun and the moon and the earth, they follow us on a regular basis. And I told that lady that we have to understand that earlier people were not much involved in looking at the books, the libraries, but they have to observe, see the things, study and formulate certain principles of how the world is about. And then at that time the astronomers made it very clear that it was not the sun that goes round us, that we go, the earth goes round the sun. And that's why it's the movement of the earth and the sun, and the connection with the sun, which creates this phenomenon. I was explained to her in simple terms. And she was happy to understand it. Yesterday I told people, as they were preparing for this event, that the churches in the olden times, the house is 380 years old church building. So church olden time was always all the churches were built facing the west. It is for various reasons. And one of the reasons also it's because the west gives us the sunlight and the strong winds and this. And the church were facing it. Most of the church, important church in Saksi, are facing the west. Then I told them how people, without much knowledge, 380 years ago, they built a church which is for acoustics so good, for ventilation so good, and our buildings were done so good. Why? Because they used to have that common understanding, the wisdom of seeing it, observing, and then doing it.
On his recent visit to Goa, Father Paul Munjali, Executive Director of Caritas India, attended to matters pertaining to Caritas Goa. When CCR TV caught up with him, this is what he had to say.
We have with us Father Paul Munjali, who is the Executive Director of Caritas India, who has been frequently coming to Goa off and on, very much involved and supporting Caritas Goa in the various social action works that are taking place in the state. Would you like to talk about what exactly Caritas India is all about?
Caritas India is the social work arm of the Catholic Church in India. As a faith response organization to the problems people of this country facing, especially when it comes to their life and developmental concerns, Caritas India focuses on communities. Community is our focus, and all our actions and interventions are community led, which means to say that one of the important strategy of Caritas India is to empower the communities, to capacitate the communities, to understand their problem, to address their problem by putting into use their own resources and their own capitals. What I mean to say is that mobilization of the social capital in the country by making use of these community platforms has been one of the important strategy of Caritas India, wherein we give a little more focus to inclusion of the most disadvantaged of the society in this country. When I say that, the most important excluded communities like tribal communities, Dalit community, the marginal and smallholder farmer community, women, children, and of late, people go through the difficulties and struggles of modern slavery. So these have been the constituencies of people Caritas India has been mostly focusing. Wherein Caritas India go with a very clear strategy that Caritas organization and its fraternity or the confederation members are the facilitators, taking people as the owners of the change process.
Okay.
And that is the whole meaning about community-led approach. So, emergency response and disaster risk reduction is one of the important activity area of Caritas India. And when I say that, it is not just Caritas India is doing this work.
You have spoken about the increase of natural calamities and disasters in India, and mostly it is linked to the climate change, global warming. Is Caritas India also involved in this area? Conscientizing?
Yeah, you are right. Climate change is one of the real concern of the globe today, and it has its own ramifications and effects all over the world, and in a very special way in our country, in India. Caritas India has been working very closely in this theme, mainly in the climate mitigation aspect, also in adaptation aspects. We have a beautiful program that is happening in different countries, but then coordinated by Caritas India, especially countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, India and Sri Lanka. This particular program is known as SAFBIN. SAFBIN means Strengthening Adaptive Biodiversity Network in the country.
Caritas India, if I'm correct, works also with government agencies, other financial institutions, basically to help come at a solution to the various problems facing the country.
Yes, we work very closely with government institutions, different departments, ministries. Maybe just to name one of the important major initiatives that we had, Caritas India was till recently the primary recipient of Global Fund. Global Fund mainly to address the issue of eradication or elimination of malaria. Caritas India has come up with a strategy for the next 5 years, 2018 to 23, wherein volunteerism is being brought in as one of the important pillars of our strategy. So Caritas India is envisaging, rather aspiring to build 1 million volunteers in the next 5 years. Through some of our initiatives, we have already formed almost 30,000 volunteers and working with Caritas India and her partners. And we are happy that this is becoming a kind of a strong agenda and a strong capital for Caritas India.
Sort of a pillar for...
Absolutely.
And that's it from us at the News Desk. We shall see you again with a new bulletin of the Catholic Weekly News next Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Thank you for watching and have a blessed Lenten season.